The brave little bunny. Once upon a time, in a peaceful meadow, lived a little bunny named Benny. Benny was smaller than the other bunnies in his family, but what he lacked in size, he made up for in curiosity and kindness. He loved hopping around, exploring the meadow, and making friends with every animal he met. One sunny afternoon, Benny noticed something strange. The bees, who usually buzzed around the flowers, were nowhere to be seen. The meadow felt unusually quiet without their cheerful buzzing. Benny felt worried. He knew how important the bees were for the flowers to grow and for all the animals to have food. He decided to find out what had happened to them. Benny hopped over to the wise old owl, Oliver, who lived in a tall oak tree at the edge of the meadow. "Oliver," Benny asked, "have you seen the bees? They're gone, and the flowers look sad without them." Oliver nodded and replied, "I saw the bees flying towards the dark forest. They seemed afraid, but I do not know why. Be careful if you go there, little bunny." Despite being warned, Benny felt he had to help the bees. He took a deep breath and decided to venture into the dark forest. The trees there were tall and twisted, and the sunlight barely reached the ground. It was a little scary, but Benny hopped along, determined to find the bees. After some time, Benny heard a faint buzzing sound. Following the noise, he found the bees gathered around their queen, who looked worried. "Hello, bees," Benny called out. "Why are you hiding in the forest? The flowers in the meadow miss you." The queen bee buzzed sadly, "Oh, little bunny, we are in trouble. A mean, grumpy bear named Bruno has taken over our meadow. He stomps around, scaring us and destroying our flowers. We're too afraid to go back." Benny felt a flutter in his chest. He was just a small bunny, and Bruno the bear was much bigger and stronger. But Benny also knew that if the bees didn't return, the meadow would lose its beauty and the animals would suffer. With a brave heart, Benny decided to talk to Bruno. "I'll ask him to leave," he said to the bees. "Sometimes, all someone needs is a little kindness." The bees buzzed with hope, and Benny hopped off to find Bruno. As he reached the middle of the meadow, he saw the big, grumpy bear lying under a shady tree. Benny's heart beat fast, but he reminded himself that he had to be brave. "Excuse me, Mr. Bruno," Benny called out politely. Bruno opened one eye and growled, "Who dares disturb my nap?" "It's me, Benny the bunny," Benny replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "I wanted to ask why you're scaring the bees and ruining our meadow. We all want to live here happily." Bruno snorted, "I am big and strong. I can do whatever I want." Benny thought for a moment, then said, "You are big and strong, but being kind is even more powerful. Everyone in the meadow could be your friend if you showed kindness instead of scaring them." Bruno was surprised. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. "Why should I be kind?" he asked, a little softer now. Benny smiled and said, "Because kindness makes you feel good inside, and when you help others, they help you in return. If you let the bees come back, they'll help the flowers bloom, and then there will be more berries and honey for everyone, even you." Bruno thought about what Benny said. He realized he had been lonely and that being kind sounded much better than being grumpy. He grumbled, "I never thought about it that way. All right, little bunny, I'll give it a try." The next day, the bees returned to the meadow, and Bruno greeted them kindly. He even helped them find new flowers to gather nectar. The meadow blossomed with color again, and everyone was happy. Benny became a hero, not because he was the biggest or strongest, but because he was brave enough to be kind. And from that day on, Bruno the bear became the friendliest bear in the meadow, and everyone learned that kindness is a strength that makes life sweeter for everyone. Moral of the story: kindness is a powerful strength that can change hearts and make the world a better place for everyone. Even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference.